My mother told me that if a man truly cared for you, he would run after you the moment you walked away. So I decided to put my boyfriend to the test by picking a quarrel and leaving dramatically. He didn't come after me. When I returned several hours later, my belongings were already boxed up, and he simply said, "I don't run after people who engage in mind games." I, a 26-year-old woman, am typing this from my old childhood bedroom, gazing at a wall covered in high school participation awards, wondering how it all fell apart. Truth is, I know precisely where things derailed. It all derailed the instant I took my mother's words to heart. My boyfriend, 28, and I had been together for 2 years. We'd been living in his apartment for the past 8 months. He was the type who expressed affection through quiet actions, not flashy romantic displays. He prepared meals for us both every Sunday, always remembered how I liked my coffee, and repaired my laptop when I couldn't buy a replacement. In 2 full years, he never once shouted at me, yet my mother insisted that wasn't sufficient. He had grown too relaxed. Whenever I went home to visit, she'd repeat that a man who truly cherished you would constantly fight to keep you. He'd live in fear of losing you. "We hardly ever argue, Mom, that's positive." "No, darling, that just shows he's grown content. He no longer values you properly." My mother had gone through 2 divorces. I should have kept that in mind. She had planted this nagging doubt in my mind, and it only grew stronger. Whenever my boyfriend took more than 5 minutes to reply to a message, her words echoed. Whenever he preferred a quiet night in because he was exhausted, I questioned if he was truly invested. 2 weeks back, she came to stay with us. She observed our interactions over the weekend. On Sunday evening, after he turned in early for his 6 a.m. shift, she took me aside. "You have to try him out." "What do you mean?" "Leave during a disagreement. A man who cares deeply will run after you. If he doesn't, you'll know the truth." I told her it felt deceptive. She claimed it was just safeguarding myself. She insisted every woman in our family had done the same. She even said my grandmother had tried my grandfather identically, and they stayed married for 52 years. She eventually convinced me. The following Tuesday, I started a quarrel. It was over something trivial, him not arranging anything extraordinary for our upcoming anniversary. He seemed puzzled since it was still 6 weeks away, and he'd already booked a lovely place. "You never make an effort these days," I shouted. "What do you mean?" "I showed you the booking confirmation just last week. It's not the booking. It's how you make me feel." He looked at me steadily, composed and thoughtful. "All right, tell me what I should change." That wasn't how it was meant to go. He was supposed to argue back. Things were supposed to heat up. So I heated them up. "You know what? Never mind, I'm out of here. Perhaps once I'm gone, you'll see what you lost." I snatched my purse, rushed out, and slammed the door. I drove to a nearby store parking lot and waited. I waited for a call. A message, a desperate plea to return. Nothing came. 1 hour passed, then 2, 3 hours. My phone remained quiet. By the 4th hour, I grew anxious, not for us, but for his well-being. What if something had happened to him? I drove back. As I entered, I saw cartons. 4 cardboard cartons neatly stacked near the door, filled with my clothes, books, and personal items. Everything I'd moved in over 8 months, carefully organized. He sat on the couch as composed as always. "What's all this?" He glanced up. "You walked out. I assumed it was over. I boxed your things to simplify matters. I didn't intend. You said you were leaving to force me to realize your worth. That's a trial. I don't run after people who engage in mind games." My stomach sank. It was only a quarrel. A normal couple's quarrel. "No, you fabricated turmoil to gauge my reaction. That's deception. I don't engage in deception." Tears welled up as I apologized. "I never meant for this. My mom talked me into it." His face softened a bit, with a hint of sympathy. "I know your mom has strong views on relationships, but you're 26 now. You chose to toy with my feelings. That's your responsibility. Please let me try again. It's best you leave." That night, I drove to my parents' house and fell apart in my mother's arms, crying over how he'd ended things. Her reply: "Perfect. Now you see he never truly cared. I'm still reflecting on it." Update 1. 1 week later, it's been 7 days, a humiliating, revealing week. Yes, I realize I made a huge mistake. Yes, I engaged in foolish tricks and got exactly what I deserved. I'm not seeking pity. I'm just sharing what happened next. My mother refused to acknowledge her advice had failed. To her, my ex's reaction proved he was distant emotionally, and that I'd narrowly escaped trouble. Any guy who could box things up so fast was clearly waiting for a reason to exit, she announced over breakfast. Or perhaps he simply has firm limits, I whispered. She ignored me already on her phone. That's when matters intensified. Without asking me, my mother messaged my ex from her own account. She showed me afterward. This is daughter's mother. You owe her an expression of regret for your behavior. She committed one minor error and you discarded 2 years as if they meant nothing. True men fight for the women they cherish. I nearly spat out my coffee. Mom, why would you do that? Someone had to speak the truth. His reply arrived in 20 minutes. Ma'am, your daughter engaged in psychological tricks and confessed it was a trial you recommended. I owe no one regret for maintaining my dignity. Kindly refrain from contacting me further. My mother was furious. The sheer nerve of him, but he was correct. It sparked another disagreement. She accused me of surrendering by owning my actions. Claimed I was misled by contemporary relationship ideas. In her era, men knew women needed pursuit. My dad, quiet in the corner with his paper, finally spoke. Interesting. I recall you trying me the exact same way 30 years back, and I ran after you. We divorced because you never quit the tricks. The room fell profoundly silent. That's not the same, really. You passed those same deceptive tactics to our daughter, the ones that ruined our marriage. Perhaps admit your guidance fails. Mom stormed off. She ignored us both for 2 days. In the meantime, I sent a sincere regret. No tricks. No deception, pure ownership. One message to my ex. I know you may not wish to hear from me, but I need to apologize sincerely. My actions were wrong. You deserved none of that trial. I allowed poisonous ideas from elsewhere to taint what we had, but the choice was mine. I'm truly regretful. Wishing you the best. His reply, I appreciate the regret. Hope you find happiness. No further contact, please. It stung, but I honored it. When my mother learned I'd apologized, she exploded. You begged him after he shamed you. He didn't shame me, I shamed myself. I didn't bring you up to be weak. You brought me up on tricks. That's far worse. She began spreading her version to relatives. To my aunt, he ditched her suddenly. To my grandmother, he was likely unfaithful. She portrayed him as the antagonist to everyone. Calls poured in. Aunt, so sorry about that awful ex. Grandmother, you're far too good for someone who'd discard you. I corrected them each time, but Mom had reached them first. They pitied me, thinking I was stuck or excusing him. Worst was my younger sister, 23, contacting him directly after hearing Mom's side. His response, no desire to discuss. Your sister used a deceptive tactic your mother taught. I declined to engage. If your family prefers painting me as the bad guy for having limits, so be it. My sister was stunned. Mom instructed you to do that, explaining everything left her silent. Then, that's seriously wrong. Mom pulled the same on Dad, you know, and her second husband. Mom had kept a notebook of strategies for years, tips like provoke jealousy to maintain interest, or if he won't pursue, he doesn't care. I'd grown up viewing deception as romance. Update 2, 3 weeks later things grew more complicated. Mom heard via rumors my ex was dating again just 3 weeks post-breakup. He owed me no pause, I caused the end. But Mom viewed it as proof of betrayal. 3 weeks already, confirms he never cared, or confirms I'd pushed him away with tricks. Then it turned ugly. Mom found his new girlfriend online, a 27-year-old nurse, lovely from what I saw. Mom messaged warnings. The girlfriend screenshotted and shared with him. He forwarded to me. Beware, the man you're with abruptly ended things with his 2-year girlfriend for nothing. He's abusive and deceptive. I was horrified. Called Mom instantly. What's wrong with you? Protecting others from him, you're pestering her and lying. Truth isn't slander, it's not truth. She ended the call. Soon after, a message from him. Your mother must cease contacting my circle. This is harassment. Lawyers if needed. I apologized deeply and promised to manage it. Managing meant a harsh confrontation. I went over, sat her down. Mom, your guidance ruined what I had. Your trial failed because it was deceptive. He spotted it immediately. Now you're pestering strangers online. Stop. I meant to assist. You meant to prove yourself correct. Difference. How dare you accuse me? No, you don't get to act injured. 2 divorces. Endless failed connections. Rather than self-reflect, you've taught us to repeat it. She wept. You're siding with him against family. I'm siding with truth over your fantasies. Contact them again, and I'm cutting communication. She didn't stop. Days later, he sent proof, fake account, more messages. Girlfriend posted publicly to the persistent mother messaging about my partner. I've read everything. Your daughter confessed to tricks. He was blameless. Get help and stop. It spread locally. People shared, questioned the crazy mom. Her circles learned, friends, book club, church. Karma struck when her second ex-husband commented, fits perfectly, same deceptive tricks in our marriage. Leaving to force pursuit was her go-to. I quit after the 15th. She divorced me soon after, claiming insufficient affection. Comments erupted. Others shared similar stories from moms, coaching, ruined relationships. Mom called in distress. They're ruining my life online. Tell them I protected you. You used a false account after warnings. Repercussions. I'm your mother. I'm tired of fixing your chaos. Hung up. Consequences hit fast. Book club pause. Church reflection suggestion. Old friendships cooled after toxic advice links surfaced. Dad called. Your mom's falling apart, crying over betrayal. Harassed twice despite warnings. What did she think? Warned she'd seek sympathy dramatically. Right, she posted from a spa healing from disloyalty by those meant to protect. Everyone knew truth, comments harsh, deleted quickly. Final update. 2 months on my ex thrives, still with the nurse. I hope they're joyful, he earned better. I've quit his socials to progress. Mom's chastened at last. Her tactics finally faced inescapable outcomes. Backlash. Real ex-husband's comment crushed her image. Longtime acquaintances questioned her words. Apologies insincere, sorry you felt hurt. People noticed. She began proper therapy, weekly, attachment-focused, Dad mentioned. Low contact now. Advice or ex mentions end calls. She's slowly realizing tactics fail on me. Dad and I closer. He shared marriage details, endless trials, fabricated crises draining him. Should have warned you sooner, he said. Hard without slamming your mom. Sister in therapy to unlearn influence. Engaged, nearly sabotaged with jealousy but stopped. Like re-educating. Me too, exploring childhood deception, toxic affection views, constant loyalty trials. Healthy affection needs no trials, needs openness, faith, respect. No dating yet, not yearning, just unready. Self-work first. Bumped into his friend recently, awkward but kind, he was hurt by the end. Truly cared, I know, no blame, he's happy, deserves it, I mean it. Lesson, trials don't show affection, they show lack of faith. Staying through deception shows weak limits, not loyalty. Leaving tricks shows self-respect, not indifference. Lost a solid man following flawed guidance from someone without healthy connections. My choice, my action, but I control forward. Break patterns, therapy over deception, truth over tricks. Mom likely still thinks she's right inside, but her reach diminished. Reputation damaged, influence faded, coached women ignore her. Outcomes often quiet. Cooled friendships, fewer invites, lost respect. Worst for deceivers, being truly seen. If taught affection demands trials and tricks, it doesn't. Healthy affection can be ordinary, steady. Two people choosing daily, no endless evidence needed. Wish I'd known before losing good, learning now.